Oh, I know what's up now. I am hip to the game. I am just as happy as I can be for you.
Oh, don't be trying to play it off. Don't even be trying to play it off. I see the smoke screen. I see it. At first, the parking lot incident, I was like, well, that's just kind of weird.
But then in the grocery store, then I knew, like, okay, this ain't no coincidence.
Y'all, I'm right here. Okay, I see what you're doing.
Somewhere amongst all that useless yakking and rambling you're doing, I just know there's a point you're trying to make. Care to take me to it?
Exhibit A. I'm coming out of this parking lot, right? It's filled because I had squeezed in. There's like a gazillion cars there. But I had found one spot to squeeze into. I go into the shopping mall, I do my thing, I come out, I don't know, maybe about 45 minutes later. Now, as I'm coming out, wouldn't you know, there's this old man. He had to have been about 252 years old.
I mean, but seriously, he was 80 if he was a day. He's walking in the same direction I am. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, now, I know he can't, all these cars here, he can't be going to the same spot that I'm going to. Because I'm thinking, I had to squeeze into the spot that I'm in. Wouldn't you know, 19 kabillion trillion cars out there, and he walks to the car parked right next to mine. That happens all the time.
I'm not done yet. These three hoodlums get out of their car parked right across from mine. Oh, I know they were up to no good. They start walking towards me and looking at me. One of them says something to me like, what time is it, or something like that. But I know he's not interested in the time. And like my blood starts freezing.
And then they look at the old man. And I turn to look at him. Because, he's just standing there, looking at them. And their eyes got as wide as silver dollars. They don't even get in the car. They just bust out the other way and just start running. And they're screaming like, ah. I know the old man, he's old, kind of scary looking, but he still looked normal. And so I look at the old man, and he looks at me and just kind of smirks and shakes his head and gets in his car.
I'm like scratching my head. That was just too weird to me. Exhibit number 2. I meet my boy Cordell and some of the other guys that he's on that sports talk radio show with. Yeah, I'm in my car and I'm already running late, so like I remember I need to stop and get some breath mints for the ladies. So I'm just gonna run in and run out, like I said, because I'm late. So I grab the the breath mints, and I'm at the counter and I'm swiping and doing my thing, getting ready, just tap and go. And I noticed that there's a guy at the checkout right next to me who has on a t-shirt and it has the same state that I'm from.
Ohio. Though I do think it would have been pretty cool if we had both been born in Arkansas. Instead of just you. Yeah, they just wanted the best of both worlds. I think it was more like they couldn't fit the both of us in that state due to that big head of yours. You got a big fist too, clown.
Anyway, not only does the guy have on a t-shirt from the same state, written across it is the same city that I was born in too.
How many people from Youngstown?
So naturally, we gotta talk. We must have stood there talking for about an hour. Turns out he's not really from there, but he knows a lot of people there and got one of the shirts as a souvenir.
But he knows, he knew all the spots and everything. Next thing I know, I look at my phone and I'm like, oh my gosh. Now you have just taken up about 5 minutes of my time that I ain't never gonna get back. You better get to the finish line quick.
The point I'm making is, when I walked outside, got in my car and drove back up the road,
there were ambulances, fire trucks, police cars,
and a big old truck that had smashed like 3 or 4 cars. All of this on the same road that I had taken in about an hour before. That could have been me.
Should have been me. I'm supposed to run in and out of this convenience store, just, grab my breath mints and go. And it just so happens that there's a man at the checkout stand right next to me wearing a t-shirt from my hometown. Because had it been any other shirt or whatever, I would have just darted in and darted right back out. And it made no sense with that parking lot incident, why those 3 guys clearly had no goodwill towards me. They just turned and ran like a couple of hellhounds were chasing them. And what? Because of that old man? I mean, there was certainly nothing scary about him, but he just so happens to be walking out at the same time I was walking out of the shopping mall and going to a car parked right next to mine in a gigantic parking lot full of cars.
I think those were angels. That guy in the convenience store, most definitely. I mean, that's just too much of a coincidence. And as far as that old man, I'm thinking I saw an old man.
But those hoodlums probably saw like an 11-foot angel with like, muscles and like a big flaming sword or something.
Because it just didn't make sense. It didn't make sense at all, them running like that. Yeah. They were both angels. They were both angels. I'm like sure of it. Sure of it.
You're looking at me like I'm crazy. And I'm not crazy. I'm not. Big head. Smarter than I thought he was.